be where we are. And we're in the perfect place. And you are live on YouTube, Zulma Gonzalez. This mic is all yours.
Well, a thankful Thursday, family. A thankful Thursday to each and every only one of us. Carrie's here. Hi, Carrie. Good to see you. Well, good to see you. You're back. You're a beautiful sunrise. Or yeah, sun. I'm going to assume sunrise. Could be sunset. There's no way of me knowing that. And hi, Dove, and hi, Sally, and hi, Sharonda is here. Wow. Hey, Deb, and Lori, and Lynn, and Mickey, and Bob, Sharon, and me. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Only one. It's good to be here. I am boosting my um, energy as I go along. As I go along, I spent the last 20 minutes looking for a medication. It's a reflux medication. Nothing, I would say it's nothing too serious, but it was prescribed to me again, and I'm told to take it twice a day, but I can't find it. I had it yesterday. Oh, I love my brain. I love that ADHD thing. But anyway, and so it is. And so it is. But I spent the last 20 minutes looking for it and I didn't find it. And so it is. It's bound to turn up sooner or later. Uh, some things are going on. It's funny how a couple of weeks ago we were talking about there were physical health conversations going on. And I had commented that, uh-oh, there's a call. Looks like I have to take this call. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back.
Thank you, Zulma. We'll just carry on. And yeah, it's good to see Carrie here and Sally. Good to see you. There's a lot of folks here that I haven't seen in here for a little bit, even though, of course, I see you all the time because you're in my mind. And that's the way it is. And there's Zulma back. There you go, hon. You're muted. So
I'm back. I'm back. Okay. He says, hello, Zulma. Este es Zulma Gonzalez. I said, ¿Quién habla? And he said, este es Diego. And then he went into English. How are you? I said, I'm in a meeting. Call me back after 10:30. Click. It sounded rude, probably. It is what it is. This is where I needed to be. Anyway, so yeah, so we were talking about there was talk about physical stuff a couple of weeks ago, and I I had commented that the whole healing thing has nothing to do with the body, and that I'm not I'm that I. we never know anything is for that I'm not prone to talk about the physical stuff that's going on with me. So Karen called me because she does that because it was something else I had said, and she'll do that when something something gets in her craw, and I love it because it goes into her craw, and then it comes out of mine, and that's good. um and so we talked about that. So on Monday I went to see not an endocrinologist. Who do I go see? I'm seeing so many doctors anymore. I went to see a new pulmonologist, and I hadn't had a pulmonologist in years because Dr. David Scott, he passed, and I didn't have another one of them. Um, I had an allergist who's been treating, and because of the allergist, the Dupixent that I take, I can breathe, and I think I mentioned that a couple weeks ago. It helps me breathe. Um, so this pulmonologist, she she's looking at it's my first time with her, and she's looking at history and stuff, and she says something about nodule on my thyroid. I said, I've never heard that before. And then she tells me when that test was, like at least a year ago. Whatever it was, whatever test found a nodule on my thyroid. I don't even know what test that was. And then she mentioned something about fluid around the heart or near the heart, in the heart area. I said, I never heard that before. So I'm waiting for a phone call from my primary physician. And I just gave you that because and I had a part one lung functions test It's my understanding that she said that normal is between 80 and 120. And mine's 45. Ah. So I chuckled at that at first, and then I didn't. Um, and that's what I have now. I have to come up with an acronym. I have to come up with words that COPD go with. I've had COPD for years. Um, I chose to be a nicotine user, and I chose to be a heavy one, and I chose not to listen when the doctors were telling me that I should stop. And when I finally couldn't breathe and did stop, by that time my body had already decided that Ernest Holmes wrote, "You are not punished for your sins. You're not punished for your, for your stuff. You're punished by your stuff." So it's because I chose to be a nicotine user that I have COPD. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about the physical stuff. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. It's all over with. I just wanted to get that out of. I needed to say it to get it out of my system, and I have not. I've only spoken to one other person about that because I don't. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared to share that with well, at least not until I get more information. But I'm not prepared to share that with my friends, especially those who um, get real sympathetic. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't. I'm not that. I'm just not that girl. I'm just not. Um, I'm not telling myself I'm so sorry to hear that. But I'm telling myself I didn't. I did. I called the primary. I want to hear from you. We need to have a talk. So anyway, so that's that. I've gotten it out of my system. We are here to talk about, as we do, Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind and other metaphysical teachings. I'm glad to be here. I'm not going in the direction I thought I was. This I decided to give um, my what do you call it? When my mind goes from here to there, I call it chasing the fly. I'm just naming it Chase. Um, so Chase is going to Chase has decided that whatever I was going to do, that's not going to happen. Lynn typed Christ. Christ only provides dynamically. COPD. I like that. I like that. Uh, anyway, so here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind and other metaphysical teachings. And I've been reworking some of the names on here because I noticed that um, um, people's names who I think ought to be here weren't here, like Mary Baker Eddy. Her name wasn't here. It is now. Um, um, and and some others. But anyway, so I'm reworking the names. I'm not finished with this yet, but I'm going to leave it there just for a moment so that you can. Oh, wait a minute. Let me make it a little bigger so you can see it even better. Slideshow from current slide. There we go. Um, just some very very important people in they call it New Thought. Um, the metaphysical teachers, metaphysical meaning beyond the teachers. And even though that word is not in the course, the word metaphysical is not in the course. Ken Wapnick has used the word. I was looking through his Q&A. Somebody brought something to my attention. I went to see it, and somewhere nearby was the word metaphysical. And I was frankly surprised to see it. But it is what it is. I'm just talking right now because I need a moment to bring myself to this place and only this place. So we should daily train our thought to recognize the spirit in everything we do, say, and think. There is no other way. It's because that's suggesting that there is no other way. There's only spirit. There's only life. There's only truth. And anything else, when we say that something is a lie, that's just something that isn't. It's just It's not real. And Dr. Ernest Holmes also says that to learn how to think is to learn how to live. This is a course in mind training. The course reminds us that all learning involves attention and study at some level. And I can't say it enough. This is a course in mind training. It's not a course in how to make somebody else do what I want them to do. It's not a course in things should be different. It's not a course in wish world. It's not a real place. Wishing things were different. It's not a course in saying that something is not of God. Oh my. This is a course in mind training. All learning involves attention and study at some level. An untrained mind can accomplish nothing. Joel Goldsmith says that you govern your surroundings by the nature of what is taking place in your consciousness. That word is going to come up again, consciousness. And we naturally become master over all life when we can understand and master the process of thinking, according to Christian D. Larson. And that's all I'm not going to do too much with that. But that mind training, that's key. Because I had someone talk about the fact that they have been a facilitator, a teacher of A Course in Miracles for 15 years, and went on talking from there. And that's what I heard. I heard them talk about the fact that they were a teacher, and this individual believes, like some of us do, that we have a good handle on the course, but this person believes that they are clear on the whole course, that they can teach it, and anything that's basically not what they're saying, even if it's other course teachers, except for Ken Wapnick, because he does follow Ken Wapnick's teachings, or and I just kind of I chuckled when I heard it. Revelation comes, how it comes every now and then. You get those beautiful aha moments, and they don't last. The moment doesn't last. But there is a place in the course that says something like the instant comes, but where are you? Which goes back to this mind training, goes to guarding our thoughts. Where are you? We get opportunities continually to practice and practice and practice. Being a course in mind training requires attention, study, but that attention is being aware, is being conscious, is being with, being in that habit of engaging with God, as the course teaches. So I could care less how long you've been a student of A Course in Miracles. I mean, I've been a student of A Course in Miracles for a lot of years. And in some areas of my life, I've got it. Now, I just told you, I spent 20 minutes looking for a bottle of medication and was letting it get to me. And does it take away from the fact? Was that not a moment when I could have? I'm talking past tense, but could have applied the teachings of the course and to not judge by appearances, to engage with God instead of quote worrying about the fact that I couldn't find the medication. So that that humility could be a very good thing. A very good thing. Okay, I'm trying to change the slide. It won't let me. What's happening here? Next slide, please. Next, oh, there it is. There it is. So one of my favorites, every response you make is determined by what you think you are. And yesterday I was in the mirror in the bathroom, And the second part of this, it hit me in a way. I mean, I finally had figured out what it meant, but it hit me at revelation. It hit me at core level that what I want to be is what I think I am. And I'm emphasizing the word think right now. What I want to be is what I think I am. It doesn't necessarily mean that what I want to be is what I am. I may not be thinking spirit. I may not be thinking, and spirit, as the Course reminds us, is in a state of grace forever. That my reality is only spirit, and I am in a state of grace forever. But in the moment, based on what my response is, when I was looking for that medication, I wasn't remembering what I want to be is what I think I am. And it hit me. I'm saying these words, and it may or may not resonate with you the way it did with me in that moment. But it was an aha. It was a major revelation for me. Oh, and something I felt something shift. I felt something shift. How many of us, I'll speak for myself, have had that problem, whatever we call it, that we can't seem to get a handle on? It's almost like saying, God, this is bigger than you. Something shifted yesterday. And you'll hear more about this in the coming weeks as I start responding to that, at my responses, because it goes on to say that what you want to be must determine every response you make. What I want to be must determine every response I make. And in the book Atomic Habits, James Clear says the same thing. But but the course it was in the course first. Um, what is it? Cognitive behavioral therapy says the same thing. But here it is in one right here sentence. Every response I make is determined by what I think I am. What I want to be must determine every response I make. I'm just going with the first and the last part of that right now. So don't tell me you want to be an apple tree, but you're doing oranges. Oranges are falling. Don't tell me that. I don't. Mm-mm. Don't tell yourself that. Tell yourself you are where you are, and that's just where you are at the moment. And if you're willing, in the rules for decision, it talks about, if you're finding yourself resisting, then you're really not ready. And in the section in the correct, what is it? A section that means to an end. It says you want the goal, but you're not willing to do what it takes to have it. So why don't you just go on and admit that you're inconsistent? That was like, wow. Wow. That was a heavy hit to me. Heavy. The inconsistency of it all. The inconsistency in my life. I've been saying for ages that I wanted to whatever, and still not there. The inconsistency of it all. So I'm gonna keep on going because this could become a conversation all by could be a discussion all by itself. Joel Goldsmith, which is really what I want to talk about, in his book Conscious Union with God, writes, all that the Father has is mine because we are one. There is no separation between God and man. God and man are one. I and the Father are one. All that the Father has is right here where I am. The Course teaches us that we have everything. We are everything. that my will and God's will is one will. And to think that it's separate, not of God, to think that it's not of God is a mistake. It's a mistake. I walked around for 20 minutes looking for medication. I was in God the whole time. I wasn't focused on that. I wasn't engaging with the peace of God. But am I to say how can I say that it's not of God? What well then what is it? It's of what? Ah, see, there's no answer there. There's no answer there. So it's of God. All that the Father has is right here where I am. All of it. All of it. Oneness. It's all about the oneness. Not the two-ness. There is no two-ness. There is no other. There is no and. I and the Father are one. Now, it's a given. It's not. This isn't anything we don't already know. I'll speak for myself. It's not anything I don't already know. I'm going to take the share down for a minute. I'm going to unshare. Let me see, just so I can look at you for a bit. It's not anything we don't already know. We know. We say we know. I say I know. I say I know, and then somebody tells me something. I get news that I don't want. I say I know, and I come home and the doggy, flipped over a trash can. and my first instinct is to get angry with the dog. Why? He's just doing what a dog does. I say I know, and I think that in a moment that I didn't do a good enough job at something, which means that I'm thinking that the job that I'm doing has meaning. In that regard, I've made myself equal to my job, and I didn't do it well, and therefore I'm not this or I'm not that. I must not be that sort of thing. We forget that we're one. Should I be looking here? No, this way. That's right. So I'm on the phone, but I have two screens going. Let's see if I can make this. There we go. For a moment. So we're constantly. I'm constantly. No, not constantly. That's a lie. That's a lie. I practice a lot. I do. I better. I practice a lot. But indeed, we all have moments. Some of us have more moments than practice. That's a thing. That's a thing. If I want the peace of God, then I have to be willing, to atone and atone and atone and overlook and let go and be willing to forgive, to let go, to love, to trust, to extend. I have to be willing to do that. And it's not always the easiest thing to do, but I have to be willing. And the more willing I am, the easier it gets. So I'm going there because some people, I hear it. Oh, that's so hard. They'll say something, and then they'll turn around and talk about how hard it is. Well, if you think it's hard, you're right. Upside down, I was an upside down thinking for a whole lot more years than I've not been. I'm getting close though. Uh, And even after I started studying the course, there was still a lot of upside down thinking. I can look around me right now and see what upside down thinking looks like. I accept, but I need to remember that I'm not separate from the allness of God, that I'm not separate from the power that is so great, that I'm not separate from it when I'm thinking that I'm not and I can't, and those sorts of things. When I'm trying to change a slide, there were a couple more I had planned to put in here today, but that I said let's start spending time looking for medication. Um, Dr. Ernest Holmes said that the spirit could know nothing outside itself. That would be God and something else. Joel Goldsmith says the same thing. There's a chapter in one of his books that says, no and. That's the title of the chapter, no and. I'm not sure which book that is, but it's a book. It's one of the physical books that I have. I have a collection now. Did I see Glorian come in? Hi, Glorian. Uh, I have a collection now to the point where I can't remember which book I read something in. So what I generally do, because sometimes in some cases I have the physical book, in some cases I have the Kindle, and in some cases I have both. So what I'm doing now is making a point to write it down. I'll get there. I'm going to find that. I'm going to find which chapter that is. Anyway, the spirit could know nothing outside itself. That would be God and something else. Spirit is all. All. It's all God. The center and circumference of everything that exists, both manifest and unmanifest. Now, I know that there are people, ACIM students, ACIM purists, who would say, no, 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 no. That's not true. The manifest stuff is that stuff that we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. And that's a fact. I see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. You're hearing me right now. And depending on how the conversation goes, you can say, well, you've made me up. Okay. But you made me up on this computer. And the only way you can get rid of me is to turn off come off of Zoom and go elsewhere. So granted, you made me up, but here I am. Here I am. I'm demonstrating God. I'm expressing God. I am being God. If I and the Father are one, I am living, moving, and having my being in God. I'm in God and God in me. No separation. So, and the course, and I didn't note it, but the course talks about the use of how the body can be used. It can be a good thing. I wouldn't be able to talk to you without this body. And Lynn writes, all right, that it is manifest in my mind. It exists. I can't deny that. You're talking about what, Lynn? That what is manifest in your mind? The world, yes. It is manifest in my mind. It exists in my mind. It has no permanence. Ernest Holmes somewhere, and he says, "Oh, it's real in the moment. It's real in the moment. I slap you, you better believe that's real in the moment. We're having a great conversation, and you're having a great time. It's real in the moment. The illusion is everything we do after the moment. I slapped you, and a week from now, you say it still hurts, unless I broke your jaw. That's the illusion. Not that this computer is an illusion. not that this telephone is an illusion, not that that my body is an illusion. It's temporary, no doubt. But it's part of my experience. The course says, is part of my experience. And my experience includes each and every one of you. Each and every only one of us. My experience includes each and every one of you because you are all lessons for me. You are all part of my experience so that I can learn more about myself. Not that life is just one big lesson. I heard somebody say something about that. And basically what it was saying was, the way I understood it, and now I'm not even using the example that if he even gave an example. I'm gonna have to find where I found that. But if I'm in school, I'm in a classroom, and I'm being taught, uh, mathematics, the type that, and then I come out of school and I become a CPA, let's say. Well, now I'm using what school taught me. I'm not in school. I may gain a greater ability to do it because the more I do it, but it's been taught to me already. I've learned it. I'm not learning it again. And the course does say that you don't have to, when you know something, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be taught to you again. So it's not all a continuous lesson. At least at some point, in the course, it asks that we. There's the passage says to live as though, that the Holy Spirit asks that we live as though, demonstrate that we are not an ego. And that's pretty early in the course. So while I'm demonstrating, I'm living it. I'm living it. I'm being conscious. I'm doing the learning. I've learned how to think. I've learned how to think. So I'm learning how to live, that I can come out in this world. When I was a nicotine user, I used to go to Nicotine Anonymous meetings. And let me see, people are writing things in here. I want to make sure I get this. Mickey said, I didn't make it up, and I didn't make, wait a minute. I didn't make her up, and no, let me read it the way she wrote it. You didn't make me up, and I didn't make you up. The ego thought system made us both up. Yes, but the ego thought system, according to the course, is a decision. It's a decision. I made a decision because the ego thought system and the Holy Spirit thought system are all part of my experience. They're both part of my experience. And when the experience is over, I'm going to say, when this physical life, and when this life is over, when this physical life is over, there'll be there'll be no need for ego or Holy Spirit. They're all thought systems. These are decisions that I am making. I'm given that. So I made a choice to come to ACIM Gather in 2006, 7, somewhere around there. It was a decision that I made because I found out that there was such a thing as ACIM Gather. What's that? And as a result of doing that, the rest of you, those of you that weren't there when I was here in 2000, in those early years, have become part of my experience. Dub said I'm right. Oh, thank you. He said that's how we talk to ourselves, to the body. Yes, exactly. In the matrix, we need bodies to talk and learn. Lessons like 193. I don't have my book in front of me, or do I? 193 and 213. I have my book right here. Is 193 all things and lessons God would have me learn? Or is that My other favorite one, let all things be exactly as they are. Let me see. 193. Dove made me open the book. 193. All things are lessons that God would have me learn. Sure. I mean, I'm constantly learning something. I mean, the new day started at midnight, so come on. And Lynn reminds us that it remains as long as I hold it in my mind. Let me see workbook lesson 213. That is one of the review lessons. 213 states, I am not, oh, it's the review of that one. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And that comes in 20 times. But again, all things are lessons that God would have me learn. A lesson is a miracle. What is a miracle? A change in perception. It's being willing to atone, to undo what's going on, and being willing to see it differently. A lesson is a miracle which God offers to me in place of thoughts I made that hurt me. It's me. It's still me making these decisions. I can go with this or I can go with that. I can go with the ego thought system and hurt myself all kinds of ways, make up stuff, live in wish world, try to live in the past, live in the future, try to control your life, try to all that. Or I can go with the Holy Spirit thought system and let all things be exactly as they are. And recognize what I say, two kinds of business, my business and none of my business. My business and none of my business. I can mind my doggone business. And recognize that my job is to seek first the kingdom, to accept the atonement for myself. Seek first the kingdom. And the kingdom is within, the kingdom is me. I and the Father are one. I can't say that enough. And then Lynn has said as everything that we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, it remains as long as we hold it in our mind. You ever eaten something that's so good, so good? Oh my goodness. And you want to go eat it again, and you have a memory of how good that tasted. Now, when you explain to someone, if you were to explain to me about that thing you ate, you could give me all of the descriptions. Oh my, all savory and flavorful, and it had these seasonings in it, and this color, but I can't taste it, and neither can you at that time. You've already eaten it. It's gone. You want to taste it again? You have to go back to that place or cook it again or however it is that you got it. I learn what I pay attention to. Yeah. Yes. And what I was saying about demonstrating not an ego, Dove put in the chat that's chapter 4, section 6, paragraph 6. Demonstrate that you're not an ego. Which is why I don't say my ego, this, my ego, that, my ego, the other. When I was talking about that bottle of medication that I'm still thinking about, obviously, that I'm going to go look for as soon as I finish here. I wasn't thinking, oh, my ego, I let the ego, misplace the pills. Oh, my ego. I don't do that. I just don't. I don't. The only time, and I mean the only time that I mention the ego, if it's part of what I'm talking about here or in other ACIM study groups, I don't talk about the ego. I just don't. Because that's making it real. I'm feeding it. I'm feeding. Well, what they say. Which gets full. The one what how's it go? You have two dogs, and I don't know something about the one that gets full. I'm not. The one that gets the attention is the one that gets full. I don't know how that goes, but the bottom line, what I pay attention to, Ernest Holmes wrote, attention. Energy flows where attention goes. And there have been other writers who have said similar things. And Bob wrote, thank you, Bob, knowledge becomes practice. Practice becomes habit. and habit becomes lifestyle. Yeah, to the point where it's like you don't feel like you have to do it anymore. It just comes so natural to you. It becomes natural. But you have to be willing, back to that. You have to be willing to make this happen. You have to be willing. You want peace? You can practice peace all the time. Every time you turn you turn on the news, and I mean, I'm seeing stuff, cars crashing into walls and crashing, the car blowing up, but the driver got out and got away. That to me is a miracle. Amazing stuff. There's amazing stuff going on in the news. That's my classroom. That's my classroom, because my client where I work, I'm a caregiver where I am. They have the ABC on all day long. And yes, heaven is a decision I must make. Heaven is a decision I must make, which means I'm making it for me. Seek first the kingdom. The kingdom is me. The kingdom is me. Heaven is me. The kingdom of heaven. Heaven is me. That's what the course teaches. That's what all of these wonderful teachings that I ascribe to teach. The kingdom is within. I don't have to fly off the handle every time something happens that I don't like. And if I am, that's what I'm practicing. That's my practice. I'm practicing what I say I don't want. I need to be willing to just shut up. Not say that thing. Oh, and if this time the words are just going through my head in such a way that it gives me a headache, but I don't say it, that's one step ahead, as opposed to shooting off at the mouth, your mother this and your son over that and whoever. Wow, that's a lot of family, the mothers and the sons. But that's not, heaven is a decision I must make. It's a decision. I'm it. I and the Father are one, moving through me as me. When not because it's not happening to me, it's happening through me as me. The spirit could know nothing outside itself. That would be God and something else. Spirit is all. The center and circumference of everything that exists, both manifest and unmanifest. That's where I was with that. It has no enemies, no differences, no otherness, no apartness, no separation from itself. It is undivided, complete, and perfect within itself. Spirit. Now, the course and other books, it says him and him and him. I can't. I mean, I do when I'm reading it, but going back to the Bible, where it's written that Jesus said God is spirit, that took the he out of it for me. The she too. It it did that. And and when I read that I live in God, I move in God, and I have my being in God, that time, during that time, I can see God as a place. God is all there is. It doesn't matter what words I choose. What matters is, am I engaging with God? The Course says that the habit of engaging with God is easy if we actively refuse to let our minds slip away. Easy. If we actively refuse. When I was looking for that medication, rather than think, oh, I'm going to find it. It's, I know where it is. Let me go on and finish the slides that I wanted to do for this. No, I didn't do that. Oh, this medication, I'm supposed to take it twice. I'm gonna have to call the doctor and tell him that I lost the pills. Then I even thought of telling a lie. Ooh, Talking about going out of integrity. I don't do that. That's why I'm talking about it out loud. I was thinking I'll just tell him that the bottle spilled and all the pills fell out. This is what I was thinking because I didn't want him to think blah blah blah, as if what he thinks matters really. All he has to do is write another prescription. Undivided, complete, and perfect within itself. So I choose the word it. I choose the word it when I talk about God, and I have to, who I'm talking to, I can get away with it easier here and in my my center for spiritual living. I can get away with that easier there than I can if I'm talking to a fundamental Christian. Um, so I pull out passages that support um, the oneness, the unity. That's all. That we live in God, we move in God, we have our being in God. That God is omnipresent, and omnipresent means everywhere present. So where is it that God is not? Why am I tripping? God is all there is. All right. Let's see if I have another slide. I think I have another slide. Okay. Oh, what did I just do? Um, from Emmett Fox Speak. That's the name of the book. Emmett Fox Speaks. Emmett writes, sin is a sense of separation from God. Now, to be clear, Emmett Fox, Joel Goldsmith, Ernest Holmes, Mary Baker Eddy, Raymond Charles Barker. No, not Raymond Charles Barker. No, not him. Not him. Daniel Lee Morgan. Most of the names that I mentioned, bring up, who I quote, had come and gone physically, have been off the planet forever. And although they do talk about sin being a mistake, it's still initially, as in this case, he's referring to it as a sense of separation from God. That's the problem. In this case, he's calling it sin. Sin is a sense of separation from God and is the major tragedy of human experience. The major tragedy. Huh. Tragedy. It's tragic when I think that you and I are separate. It's tragic when I think that God is over there doing that, or that God is not here when I'm going through this, that, and that God is not listening to me, that God has left me, turned his back on me. The old teachings. It's tragic because if that's the case, then I'm alone. As my mother's only child, I used to think that the only child, lonely child. I used to say that because I used to feel so sorry for myself. Tragic. When I sat in a therapist's office and said, and where was God when such and such? Thank you, Carrie. I'll seriously consider that. I have to today. Thank you. Um, um, Lost my train of thought. Oh, when I was sitting in a therapist's office, and where was God when such and such was happening? Where was God then? And in his wisdom, this man said to me, either God has always been there or God was never there. Okay, that sealed it for me. That sealed it for me. God was there. Now, for me to understand what all that meant, the situations and the experiences and how I felt about it and what I continued to feel about it when I was in that poor me state, when I felt like things were happening to me, that took time. But lo and behold, God is life. All the books say it. God is life. which is another reason why I say it. Well, I mean, we could say, Mother Earth and all that, Father Time and all that. We could do that. But that's another reason why I say it. God is life. Life is. That's the end of that sentence. God is. Cease to speak. Sin is a sense of separation from God and is the major tragedy of human experience. It is, of course, rooted in selfishness. It is essentially an attempt to gain some supposed good to which we are not entitled in justice. Now, the Course reminds us that we have everything, we are everything. We have everything, we are everything. If I have everything, I have to recognize first what that everything is. It's not the tangible thing. And does that tangible thing complete me? How many times, and and I've had several, that I've had this rush, this dopamine rush, to buy this thing. Oh, this is it, and then it's not it. So I've got to buy something else. The Course talks about more of everything, seeking outside myself, idol worship. That's what that is. It's simply idol worship. Sin is a sense of isolated, self-regarding, personal existence. Oh, there is no God. It's just me all by myself. Wherein the truth of being is all that. Whereas the truth of being is that all is one. 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 I don't need to feel some kind of way because you have some, because you're a world traveler. I'd like to be. I'm using that as an example. And I'm going to be upset with you, be envious of you because I'm not a world traveler. I can appreciate and enjoy your travels by asking you, did you take pictures? Show me. Oh, well, you didn't. So where'd you go? Not go on the internet and look. I can vicariously enjoy that with you. I can be one with you instead of attempting to be apart from you. All is one. I think I have another slide. Oh, our true selves are at one with God, undivided from Him. And I'm saying the same thing over and over and over today, because the whole thing about needing to be right, which makes somebody else wrong, needing to be recognized because you feel that you're not worthy, or you think that they think that you're not worthy, but that sentence starts with you think. Our true selves are at one with God, one with life, one with truth, undivided, indivisible. It can't be divided, not part of it. I am it, expressing it this way. Grateful too. I do think I have one more slide. I'm not sure. Let's see. And if I don't, I'll just drop screen. Oh, I do. And Christian D. Larson from The Great Within wrote, now he has a different way. I wanted to put this slide earlier, but think of the interior essence. I kind of like that. The interior essence, that God within, that light, that perfection. Think of the interior essence that permeates the exterior substance and cause all mental action. We're talking about the habit of engaging with God. We're talking about guarding your thoughts, We're talking about not letting your mind wander aimlessly. We're talking about not living in the sleep of forgetfulness. Cause all mental actions to move toward the finer mental life. Holy Spirit, now. I need you now. Holy Spirit, Spirit, I need you now. Now. I want to remember that God is in my mind, that God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Move toward the finer mental life that lives and moves and has its being within the interior mind. We're back to that again. And there's one of the workbook lessons in the course. I live in God. I believe it says I live and move in God, something like that. But that's a from the Bible about living, moving, and having our being in God. Lives and moves and has its being, cause all mental actions to move toward the finer mental life that lives and moves and has its being within the interior mind. This will cause the conscious action, back to that, consciousness, this will cause the conscious action to impress itself directly upon the subconscious, which means I'm changing my mind. I'm atoning even in the moment. I'm in the habit. I'm in the habit of engaging with God. I'm engaging with God. I'm engaging with God. This will cause the conscious action to impress itself directly upon the subconscious, and a corresponding reaction or expression will inevitably follow. The Course teaches what we do comes from what we think, and takes me right back to where I started. Every response, every response I make is determined by what I think I am. And the question, what do I think I am? Every response you make is determined by what you think you are. The question, what do you think you are? And while you're thinking about it, grab hold tight to the fact that you and the Father are one. I and the Father are one. And if you and the Father are one and I and the Father are one, it's just all one. It's all one. No two-ness. It's just one. Undivided. And with that, there's peace. And with that, I'm turning over the mic.
Wow. Thank you so much, Zulma. What a great session. And oh my gosh, yeah, I was just listening to Joel Goldsmith yesterday, and just the understanding that it's just the belief in separation that is the cause of all of this. And the only way I believe in it is because that's what I want. I want to be separate. I want to be special. I want to have uh what I want. That's the very only reason. And it is a decision in my mind. I appreciate so much that you brought that to our attention, and all the great teachers who have done that. And I love and appreciate you so much, Zoma. All the years that we've known each other and been friends. I'll put my camera on here for a minute. Oh,
I'll
sure.
turn mine over. Mm-hmm. Change camera.
Anyway, I was going to put up that picture that we took at the conference together, and I'll find that and put that up sometime, because I think it just is so beautiful. And I remember when I first met you, what a joy it was. So anyway, thank you, Zoma. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the YouTube. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and then you'll get notifications when